So this is a card trick I like to call Joy. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy. So we got a blue playing card here amongst just red cards. We'll just toss this aside for now. And we will have a spectator. I go up to a spectator. Their spectator's name is, let's say, Jake. Hey Jake, how are you doing? They go, awesome. And then we will begin by having a card selected. I'll just make it simple for this case. I ask the spectator, I'm going to riffle across the cards. You tell me when to stop whenever you like, okay? And they feel free to do so, and they're very specific, and they say stop here. And I say, do you want to change your mind, or do you like the mind you have? And they think about it, and they go, I like the mind I have. And I'm like, that's a great, great decision. And then they take the card, they peek it, they learn it, and I'll show it to the audience, okay? I'm looking away. I really am. Okay, hopefully it's in frame. Okay. And then we'll have the cards tossed back. Let's say, say here. Okay, I show one last time. Because you never know. You just really always have to show the card twice. You gotta love it. And cards shuffled continually. You can reference that. They were shuffled continually. Anyways. Did it happen to be the Ace of Hearts? And they would go, no. Oh. Well, that's what you get. 51 more tries, right? Or I can actually do something magical with this Ace of Hearts. Let's see if I can do it. It's been a little while, but if I can get it, I'm going to toss. Believe it or not. Wait. Yep. There you go. The Ace of Hearts. And oh, wait. Whoa. You get that Three of Clubs as well. And the Three of Clubs can be signed, and if you're doing a quick effect, you could actually hand this card out. It creates a wonderful little memory for each performance. I'm Dan, this is Joy, and hope you have a good one. So, jumping into it, be sure to like and follow. We have a small setup, red card box, as would be a red deck of cards, and one odd card. In this case, I use the Ace of Hearts. If you feel it's too classic, you can use 7 spades, 4 spades, whatever suits your fancy. Doesn't matter. But we will need a contrasting card for this. So the setup is usually red deck, red box, and then whatever card you want. And you're going to use, it's technically the stranger card or outside card color duplicate of the red pack. And so the order would be deck of cards. We, in this case of using Ace of Hearts, we have the red-backed Ace of Hearts, okay? Goes right there. A random card. And we want contrasting colors since we're going to force this, so we can actually have really any card we want. And because it can be signed, I do mention it could be signed. It really could be signed, which is a cool thing. You do a quick trick. People see a lot of magic in a short amount of time. It's a very powerful effect. And then you could just hand it out. If you want to be modular. If not, it leads you right into, guess what, an ACR. So you've got more time to play with this, more leeway. It's interpersonal, so you got that benefit to it. So whatever card you want to force, you could do it there. And it makes it easy if you're not playing with a full deck or you keep on signing up cards, you want to do that. This is like the ideal routine for this, which is great. And then the stranger card, Ace of Hearts. Okay? Blue back one. There you go. And then every time you reset it, so just so you know, every time you reset it, you just put a new card in between the 2 aces. So again, red ace, random card that's contrasting color. You'll see why in a second. And then stranger card. Okay. Goes inside the box, and you're all set. Whenever you want to do the effect. And unless you also want to have a Sharpie and sign off the cards. Makes it more interpersonal. People remember you for that. Really cool. Anyways, so we have it, and I just came on thinking, like the PUA side of me says, and you could also write your phone number on it. Anyways, so we got that, and we go right into the effect. We just start off by taking off the top card, tossing it aside, and then from there, we can shuffle the cards, making sure to retain the top 2 cards of the setup. So I just do it. And I go, excuse me, sir, what is your name? I pause to show appropriateness for the name. They say Jake, they say Michael, they say Andrew, whichever. I go, oh, Andrew, that's a cool name. And it looks respectful that you just were riffling, they answered, and then you go, that's a cool name. And then you continue on, showing that you show control for the entire effect and that you're very appropriate. People, it's like a subtle thing, and people go, oh, okay, he's really paying attention, he really can control it. And the whole time I'm just maintaining the top 2 cards of the setup. Okay, and from here we're going to do my favorite force. Ever since I learned it from an Oz Perlman DVD, I've considered all my forces, and that's my favorite force. It's just so good in the misdirection. It's a continual lesson, and I get continual growth from doing it and laughing while I do it. So I ask them after the shuffle, I'm going to riffle the cards. This entertains magicians because they're thinking I'm going to do a riffle force. But just go off the top of the deck and just use the misdirection is just so lovely. So, again, position, we're going to force the 3 of clubs. Okay? I go across and they tell me when to stop, and they say stop right there. And I've already done a tutorial on this. You can check out the rollover force evolving magic, however, and you'll see a whole tutorial on this. So I'll just make it brief. They say stop right there. Okay, I then give a misdirecting comment, and the misdirecting funny comment is as following. Okay, you can let go for a second. It is, so they stop right there. Do you want to change your mind? Or do you like the mind you have? Is one way of phrasing it. And it also could be the hype of it. That was the way I did in performance. The older style was, do you want to change your mind, or do you like the mind you have? Or you just can, it's also the tonality, however you want to say it. Whatever suits your character. And by doing that, it throws people off just by the statement alone. Do I want to keep the mind I have? Oh, wait, what? And then they laugh and they think about it, and they're so misdirected. It's just so funny and absurd. And then they answer, because you're waiting for them, because you're not doing anything. And then they answer. And as they answer is when you do the misdirecting moment. Because they cannot focus on these 2 actions. The absurdity lowers their guard for when you're going to do the move. So let's say they say stop right here. In this case, doesn't matter. Now you're going to do the move, which is a little bit odd for people to understand first. The cards have to hit the phalange right here, okay? And then use, so after you riffle, drop the cards onto the outermost phalange fingers thingies. And then we use the main hand, drop the cards right here, this hand. And then we just, after we've got here, we don't want to be here because it makes it very difficult. We want to be on the outer phalange, and then flip it right there, okay? So do it a couple times because people don't get it. Boosh. Boosh. Okay? Now we do this and extend that hand, the right hand forward. So tell them stop, stop, and I'll actually make it easy so people can understand it. Okay? This is the force card we're going to force. Tell them stop, stop. Do you want to change your mind, or do you like the mind you have? I like the mind I have. Drop on the outermost where they stopped at. I'm doing this in slow motion so you can understand it. Okay? Oop. Then you redo that. Tell them stop, stop, boom. I'm just trying to do it in slow motion so people can get it. Okay? It's flipped onto the hand. And then after the misdirected comment, they answered it. You extend your hand forward and then go for it. You are literally forcing the top card. In the most subtle of manners. It seems so casual and fair. You don't even make a big deal about it. I've seen lots of people do it, or Oz Perlman do it. I've seen other people. No one would really share me the details with it, and just finally getting it from Oz is so cool. So full credit to Oz Perlman for the original. I don't know if it's his move. I don't think so. He's just teaching it, though it was the first place I got really inspired from learning it. So again, face up. Tell them to stop, stop. Okay, drops my flange there, and then come forward. Okay, real time. I'll do it face up and then real time so you can see what it looks like. Tell them to stop, stop. Now I want to ask you, do you want to change your mind, or do you like the mind you have? I like the mind I have. Great choice. Boom, come forward, card force. Now let's say they want to change their mind. That's what everyone's probably asking. They probably want to change their mind. What do you do then, Magic fan? Really? That's your biggest concern. Tell them to stop. Now, do you want to change your mind, or do you like the mind you have? I want to change my mind. Okay. That internally, that's just funny for me. tell them to stop, and they go, stop. Okay. And you don't want to change your mind at all. And then I would do the casual comment, and you don't want to change your mind at all, give me a little bit of shade. They're trying to give focus. They go, no. And I could even misdirect like a top change kind of guys. Still doing the same gesture, same action, but I'm making more outlandish gestures to misdirect and cover the move. As I do it, maybe make a gesture here. So I would usually go, so after they change it twice, I would then go, okay, so right there. Why do I spend so much time on this move? It's fun. Anyways, we'll get to the final part very shortly. Anyways, force it, talk about it, addressing every single situation. You can come up with it. And so we've got it right there. And then we forced it. Okay? There you go. It's kind of a tutorial in and of itself of my own updated thoughts of the rollover force. Whatever. So, we forced this card. Okay? And then you can continue shuffling cards if you want. I was just feeling happy, so I kept on shuffling the cards. You could just shuffle them. And you could say, at the end, when you're revising the effect and you're going back to the moment of all the magic when it's happening, before you could even make an offhanded statement, and the cards were continually shuffled, or after the fact, rather. And the cards were continually shuffled. It just kept on happening. Crazy, right? And people go, yeah, wow. So, they've got their card, and we've still got the Ace of Hearts on top of the deck. We're going to do a swing cut, or you could do a swivel cut, or if you're crazy enough, do a thumb cut. Essentially taking the upper half of the pack, putting it into the dominant hand in this case, and in this case it's my left hand, and then taking the card and adding it back to above the Ace of Hearts. Okay, so you guys can be watching on that. So there you go, Ace of Hearts. So you add it back, and then you can control it in whatever way you see fit. If you feel like pulling an illusionist trailer thing, you can do a dribble thing, dribble and then control. You can do, I kind of like this idea where you can just spread, they return it, and then you can do a down jog, a jog placement thing, and then square it up. And you got this jog here you can just lift up on and do your little dirty work or whatever. You can even just do, a basic dribble into a double undercut. That's what I tend to do. I have a lazy tendency. I'm just thinking double dribble thing, control, you're set. And essentially we get to for where it should be right back on top. And one other idea, if you want to make it easy for yourself, if you really, really want to just make it easy for yourself, I'm just so kind today, aren't I? After you've dribbled the cards back, making sure you got a placement from the back, you got a break, or you could just place it back. Yay! You could just do a triple cut, half of the upper packet, rest of the packet, drop it on top, and then you've got there. Okay? So, now we've got this card set up. We've tossed it aside since the beginning, and this actually plays a crucial role. People think it does. I try to downplay it. Just forget about it. Like, whatever, forget about it. We'll get to it later. I don't care. Just toss it aside. Just don't toss it to the floor. You gotta make it seem like it has some importance, but not that much. Or you can just put it on top of the card box. Whatever. And so we've got with the whole routine, we've got maybe the cards signed, maybe not, whichever. We've had the cards controlled, the card forced, card controlled back to the top, and we are right here at this point. Now at this point, I tended to pull a Danny, which is my own style of card production. So we do a double. And we show the Ace of Hearts. Ace of Hearts. We're not doing anything yet. We ask if this is a card. They will obviously say no, this is not their selection. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a side steal with a cover card change. It's the side steal with just a cover card. I don't know if it's mine. I've never really seen anyone really publish it, but I can't really claim it, so I will not. But I do like to talk about it in my own additions to it. So we got the Ace of Hearts, and so what we've done is at this point, we started off by doing a double. We showed it. Great. Awesome. Wasn't their card. Then we can, there's a couple ways we could go into it. If you still had like a thumb break, I usually do an and trap. At this point, I do an and trap break. So you got it, just a little bit of separation by your thumb right here. Not much, but that's what I usually use to start. And then I take this card. This is my usual technique. I grab this double. When I need to, I lift up the thumb. Okay. And then my thumb pushes over a little bit, enough to use my first finger, second finger, and thumb to grab it just briefly as I get a break underneath the next top card. That's one way of going into it. Another way is if you just want to, you could riffle at the back and just wait until you can actually feel for 3 cards. Spend 5 minutes practicing and you got that right under check. Okay, you just get a feel for what 3 cards feels like, and you can nail it pretty fast, or what it feels like. And you can go back and then nail it real fast. Say, I don't know if I could do this. You know what? You're trying to downplay it. That's what magicians tend to do, and it works. I hate saying it works. It's not the best theater. I get it. You make do with what you got. Okay. Who was one of the greatest? Max Malini, and he got great off of just doing it impromptu, and I bet he did this too. Okay. We all do it. So we got the Ace of Hearts. We are going to do side still cover change, which is position check. We've got this double selection face down cover card. We got it right here. After I got all 3 cards here, I left them out, middle finger, thumb, onto here, being held by a thumb, second finger, third finger, and fourth finger, pinky. Okay, and then we pull back on this card as we side still out the 2 others. So would look like this. Whoosh. Looks bad, but if it's done in fast motion, whoosh, and my hand, this palm is on the edge right here, makes it easier that this ace comes back into view, looking like everything's copacetic. The hand's just here, and then I use this pinky right here whoosh, to just clip onto the other 2 cards. And now I've got them in a palm, which is really, really cool. Doesn't even have to be perfect. Just don't want to be flashing. We got it. As you saw in the performance, didn't really have to be perfect. So then, we got right here. We can pull a divergent if you want. you could do this. Woo! And he has his little cigar or whatever. Looks like that. Ooh, so cool. If you're not feeling like, if you just want to go through with the effect, you're like, why is Danny delaying? Then you can just come over, drop the 2 cards, and give it a wave. Okay? And then you go, whoa. And there are multiple ways to handle the ending. In one sense, you could actually just do that, and then go, whoa, where did the Ace of Hearts go? Remember that card? Boom. That's one way of handling it. I wanted to upplay it, and this is just my styling of how I present the big finish. Everyone has their own way of doing it. My idea was to steal it out. I mean, it is my own effect. Even within my own mind, I have like multiple ways I would handle it. It's crazy. This is the way I chose to do it in the performance. I pull back. I've got it. I've added to there as I risk kill. And then, so it seems like I'm just coming over. The image I was trying to go for is that I act like I'm just coming over, like I'm giving a magical gesture. And now I grab it, this Ace of Hearts, and I toss it onto there. So it gives that kind of whimsical kind of effect. Bada bing, bada boom. And it seems like I just grab the Ace of Hearts, or the essence of it, or something. Grab the essence of it, I can mention that, and toss it. And people see the hand empty. And then you can ask them to turn over, or I can turn over. And you can show, whoa, that's magical, whoa. And it gives that kind of whoa moment, and gives you that reason to go, stand back a little bit, go, whoa. And because the card, you've already done the work to set up for that moment, you got to open up with a big impact of impact B, whoa, and then eventually look over and see, whoa. And I go, whoa. And so it's like a escalating effect that's just very surprising and has a lot of whimsicalness of it, which is why I call it joy. Just short, sweet, to the point. It's beautiful. And if it's signed, you really have, like, it's a very short effect, people have to get going, you made memory. They can remember that, and they sign the card. They have that effect to remember for the rest of their lives. Really cool. Or you got a way to continue the modular routine, and you have something to start, a great start, and then you have something to lead into it. So ACR is a great middle ground, in my opinion. It's a great middle ground or closing routine, depending on context, how you use it. And to have a way to lead into that powerhouse, to have something cool like joy, just makes it wonderful. Just my opinion, though I think there's many cool things about this. It's just for a minor setup, you get so much benefit out of it. You get to practice very efficiently, and you also get to have little memories, way to boost your business, and depending on how you use it. Just a lot of different ideas. I just think it could be very commercial and very useful for many magicians out there. So I forgot to include this in the original effect, and I might as well include it now, the cleanup. So we got that there, and then we've showed their card and signed it. Great. Now if you're doing this as a single effect and then you walk away, or you put the cards away, you just want to make a good impression and then that's it, then you can just pocket the deck even though it's not totally clean, and then you're done and you don't have to worry about that cleanup. If you're doing it as an effect, you want the cleanup of the other Ace of Hearts, and so you could just do a simple KM move, which is to say, and it was reflected in many Oz Perlman DVDs, and I believe it was Ed Marlowe's move, Kid Krenzel's? One of those guys, most likely. And so, though I credit them. And so what we do is we just get a break underneath 2 cards. We could get casually, we could just feel for it. Eventually, once you just get feel for it, you can just get it without even looking. I'm looking straight over here, and I'm able to get it. I can even do it behind my back, really fast. And I know I got 2 cards, which is really great. So once you got your break underneath 2 cards, you just take your middle finger and thumb, forefinger also below, so the first finger, second finger, thumb at the back, and literally just take to the edge like you're doing a double lift. Literally the same thing. Take to the edge like you're doing a double lift, like an L position. Cards right here, and your fingers are doing the most important part. We are using the third finger and fourth finger. I know it's not the funnest move, though it gets the job done. Okay, it's like a paintbrush change. You're gripping fingers, and you let this card slide down, so it slides off of here onto the deck as this card comes back. Not the cleanest move, but it gets the job done. If you do it casually, no big deal. Okay, and that's how a lot of magicians clean up. If you are worried or in a very, very tough audience, I get it. And KM moving may be difficult, and sometimes it may save your butt when it's really bad. And just being able to KM move in, KM move out. You might even KM move for a double. You never know. And if you do it just for a top card, you can just do it gambler technique to be able to get that, or something you see in lap DVDs to turn those cards over. I think they mentioned an expert card technique, I believe. Don't correct me on that. Anyways, just wanted to give those tips there, and then if you want to repeat the effect after it's signed off and they've given that card off, literally just take another card that's contrasting color, add it, and put in the box and you're reset. So, just want to give that helpful tip. Even if it is a card trick. So with that said, again, like and follow, subscribe, check out the Academy for all tons of videos. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen this video or this video yet, definitely check them out. And I will catch you in the next one.